Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. This is Eli Ash, and today we're going to be doing something different than my last videos. As you know, I use LMMS, which is a free music making software, and it is great, but it can be confusing. This software, as I said, free to download. There's a lot of different parts and different elements to this program that I've done trial and error over the past, I think, 3 years of using this program, and I've worked with different versions of the program. Right now I'm using the latest version, which is LMMS 1.2.1, and this version is the latest, as I said. When installing this, there shouldn't be any problems getting the audio to work. With older versions, there might be problems getting it set up. But if you have any questions about the setup and download of the program, you can just ask me that in the comments down below. So this program, there are a couple key features to it, and other features, more advanced parts of this program, I can, if you want, answer questions, or I will be making future videos going more in depth on some of the other aspects of this program. I am in a new project. When you open a new project, this is what you will see. We have our triple oscillator, sample track, beat/baseline, and automation track. We also have the FX mixer. You can add other channels, and by right-clicking on a plugin, clicking on a plugin, you can program this to play through one of the channels. As you saw, this is the first plugin that you get, a triple oscillator. Sounds pretty generic. I would advise removing this track for now. The sample track allows you to import different tracks from your computer. You can bring in recordings and stuff. It's not that useful, difficult to work with. For now, let's just take that out. The beat/baseline is very important. When clicking on it, the beat/baseline editor pops up, and you can see we start out with a simple kicker. There are these blocks, and each block you can program notes to play. If we want to do a simple kick line, we could click anywhere in here and put notes on the editor. And when pushing play, sounds like that. You can drag in instruments and drums from anywhere on here. Up here we have instrument plugins. More difficult to use. I would stick with the My Samples. They have great drums and great effects, but it doesn't have the best instruments. Also, instruments are playing on a different key than the other instruments, which are found in the My Presets. When clicking on My Presets, you have access to a lot of files of different instruments. By clicking on it, you can hear how the different instrument sounds. There's some really cool instruments on there, and my favorite being in this file, we have the Mysterious Banks. They have some very cool synth instruments on there. You can always import other instruments and drums, stuff like that, from the LMMS download page. There is a sharing platform. I've uploaded some instruments there myself, been experimenting with that recently, but for now, just stick with the ones that are on LMMS pre-downloaded. So we can drag in any of these instruments. If we go to the triple oscillator page, we can pull out a string. By pressing and holding, we drag the instrument to the song editor. Now, there are many different things you can do with any instrument. You can click on it, and the general settings for this string pop up. You can add effects to it by clicking Add Effects, and there are a bunch of effects you can add to it. You can do stacking, or you can there's a lot of different things you can do. Over here, you can adjust the instrument itself. You can also rename the instrument. Now, you can double click you can double click on the song editor in front of the strings, and the piano roll will pop up. The piano roll is where you put down the notes for your instrument. You can click any of these tools, eraser, here's the pencil, kind of symbolizes putting the note on the scale. And you can make it any length by clicking the end and dragging. You can make your note change its volume and its note panning. You can layer notes to make a chord. And we can do all sorts of things with that. You could also change the note length. I would, that's over here, last note. We can change its length. I would stick with note length as last note. That enables you to have free range over that. There's note scale, note chord. You can do all sorts of things on there. Playback as well to listen to your track, and you can adjust any kind of tune you want with that. So that is the instrument editing. That is how you can get a track, and I will now show you about the beat baseline editor. I already covered a little bit about that, but the beat baseline editor, you can also bring in different tracks from the My Samples. You can make beats like that by clicking on the beat baseline editor, and you can also click on any of these drums and adjust them to your liking. So that covers the instruments and drums. It looks simple, but there's a lot of layers that go into a song, and it takes a lot of trial and error to get into a really smooth groove when it comes to making your song. Now, the automation track controls the level of volume, note panning, really anything in the song. If I am using the future bass, I bring the future bass over into the song editor, and you see here is the volume. I can adjust the volume. The automation track allows me to, when I hit Control, click on the volume and drop it on here, I can make the volume steadily go up throughout the song, or I can make it go down. That's very important to use, especially when giving your song some nice dynamic. So that pretty much covers everything to start out on LMMS. That's definitely not everything about the program. Very simple, just scratching the surface. Many other things I could go more into depth about. Now, quickly before the video is finished, if we go into one of my newer songs, you can see I have many tracks, instrumental tracks, drums, beat bass lines, and if we hit play, I can just show you how I did this song. We have a kick and a hat playing at the same time. And then I have my pluck, my progressive pluck. Then my lead is playing, and my lead will build up. I have this automation track to a low pass filter. I'm adding in more drums, more bass, more layers to the song. And then here's the chorus part right before the drop. I haven't built the drop yet, but as you can see, I've layered a lot of notes on this note scale. Took a lot of trial and error to get those chords perfect, but in the end it worked out. And this song doesn't have too many layers, but as you can see, it takes a lot to build a song, a lot of time. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. It doesn't give that much information. Again, it's just scratching the surface, just a basic introductory video. If you could consider subscribing, liking this video, and sharing it, that would really help out the channel. And if tell me in the comments if you're interested in seeing anything else in the future, different videos covering different elements of LMMS. And if you are using the program, I would like to hear your thoughts on your history using it, what you think about the program, and just thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel thus far.